My name's Shelly Hawkinson. Used to be Shelly Butler, and I worked at the Zigzag Ranger Station most of my career. But I was hired in 1973, and I had just come back from the Peace Corps after going into the Peace Corps after college, and came back from the Peace Corps assignment and hiked around Mount Hood. Didn't have a clue, because I had a music degree, what I was going to do. And I'm walking down the street in government camp, and a guy in a green truck literally drives by and yells, "Do you need a job?" And I said, "Yeah." And back then they could hire you at the Ranger District. So I showed up the next day, and I worked with Mike Hilberner and Lee Anglesby on a BD crew. And I was hired when the fire management officer was elk hunting. And when he found out that a woman had been hired on his crew, he came unhinged. I was the first woman hired in fire on the Mount Hood. And other women had worked on fire because the whole district used to chip in on slash burns and that kind of thing. But to actually hire a woman and have that crew go down as the one who hired the first woman, he was livid. But anyway, it worked out. We worked out pretty good. So I worked on BD crew. 73, worked in fire in 74. Back then they were really trying to allow women to work on fire crews. And making that happen was pretty crazy. Like the showers, I remember they would have to clear all the guys out, and then the 1 to 2 women could go in and shower with all that old shower stuff. Anyway, and then we'd have our own toilets, and that was a big deal, and they'd give us a bunch of stuff for that. But so I worked in fire and then worked in silviculture after that, but filled in with the shot crew when Paul Gleason had it, and was able to go on quite a few assignments, not a ton, but enough to get a taste for the shots, and then did fire support, well, really all through my career. And I still have a contract with the region now to do critical incident debriefings. I ran a team for 20 years in Region 6, and I still have a fire contract. I took over the team in 96 and ran it till I retired in 2012. And yeah, that's tough stuff, boy. You know, the Forest Service used to be the buck it up, you can do it. And definitely the crew boss, you're just going to have to live with that kind of stuff. And after South Canyon, there was a regional mental health guy by the name of John Berger, who saw the tremendous impact that had, not just on the crews, not on the zigzag shots, Primeville shots, whatever, but the impact to that. There's only 3 degrees of separation in fire. I know that. And the impact of how that spread throughout the entire agency. And he had started a CISM team in Region 6 in 1989. And right after that, we really started pushing all of our teams to go out and do fire support. But then the mental health guy that did the CISM at South Canyon was straight mental health. He wasn't a peer support. And he made some really bad mistakes. And so the process kind of got sideways for a while. But then we really started building it up. And so the Region 6 team will respond to anything, not just fires, not just peer support. It'll respond to really just about anything. It is so critical to have someone to talk to about something that's just that impactful. And probably some of the more impactful ones have been aviation accidents, where the entire fire camp might hear what's happening through dispatch, that the PAOs, the dispatchers, those people are really impacted and sometimes forgotten in that process. And so I love that the Forest Service BLM have really gotten together and to support employees with that, because you just have to do it. If people don't want to come, fine, let it go.